Welcome to the Bible Character Podcast. I'm your host, Delight. And today, we're talking with someone whose story sounds like something from a movie. Love, hate, betrayal, seduction, prison. And yet, God was him in all of these. He was the boy with the coat, the dreamer, the one they sold. But he didn't stay in the pit. Joseph, welcome.
Thank you, Delight. It's good to be here. And yes, it's been a journey.
Let's go back, way back, before the prison, before Pharaoh, back to when you were just a boy in your father's house. Tell me what that was like.
About that. Though I was not the last child in the family, but I was the first son of my father's choicest wife and my father Jacob. He loved me deeply. I was the child of his old age, the one he waited years to have with Rachel. And because of that, I was different to him. He gave me a coat, not just any coat, but one with many colors. It was like a public reminder that I was chosen.
Did that coat feel like a gift or a target?
Both. It made me feel special, but it also made me stand out. And in a house with brothers who already had history, it made things tense. They didn't just dislike me. They watched me closely.
Then came the dreams.
Yes, God started showing me things in the night. Strange images, sheaves bowing, stars bending low. I didn't understand it all at first. But I told them, my brothers, my father. I thought they'd be amazed. Instead, it only made things worse.
What happened next?
They hated me. That's the only word. And hate is a slow fire. One day my father sent me to check on them in the field. When they saw me coming, they didn't see a brother. They saw a threat.
They plotted to kill you.
Yes, at first that was the plan, but Reuben convinced them not to shed blood. Instead, they threw me into a pit. Then Judah saw the Ishmaelites coming, and they sold me like an item, for silver.
How did that feel? Your own blood handing you over?
I can't describe it. I screamed, I begged, but they looked me in the eyes and turned away. I was tied up, dragged, taken far from everything I knew, and all I had was the memory of the dreams. I didn't know what they meant anymore.
Then Egypt.
Yes, I was sold into the house of Potiphar, an officer of Pharaoh. It was strange, new language, new customs. But God was with me. That's the only reason I didn't break. And Potiphar saw that. He gave me charge over his house, everything.
And then came the temptations.
That part, people don't always understand. It didn't start with Potiphar's wife. There were other women, female servants, slaves like me. They were curious, some were bold, and I was young, far from home. But I held on to the fear of God. I remembered who I was. Madam Potiphar, she was beautiful, powerful, and persistent. It wasn't one time, it was every day. She'd wait for moments when no one was around. She'd call me, touch my robe, and when I refused, she called it pride. One day, she grabbed me. This time I ran, left my robe. She turned the story against me.
And you were thrown into prison for an offense you did not commit.
Yes, no trial, no questions, just chains. From servant to prisoner. At that moment, I felt like all hope is gone. I could not even believe that my dream will come to pass again. It was a terrible experience, I must say.
Where was God in that moment? Did you feel his presence around you in such a trying moment?
Yes, he was right there with me in the cell. I felt his peace. And once again, he gave me favor. The prison warden noticed. He gave me responsibility, even inside prison.
Then came the two men, Pharaoh's servants.
Yes, the cupbearer and the baker. They had dreams one night, both troubled, and God gave me the meaning. One would live, one would die. I told them, and it happened exactly.
You told the cupbearer to remember you.
I did. I said, mention me to Pharaoh. I had thought in my heart that if he mentioned me before Pharaoh, Pharaoh might grant me pardon at least to go back to my father's land. But he forgot, simply because God had a special way by which he wants to introduce me to Pharaoh.
That is so profound. God had a special way in his plan to introduce you to Pharaoh. But in all of these, did you ever give up?
I wanted to, but something in me held on. I remembered the dreams, the stars, the sheaves. I didn't know how, but I believed the story wasn't over. Yes, one night, Pharaoh had two strange dreams. None of his magicians could interpret them. That's when the cupbearer finally remembered me. I knew somehow that God has permitted him to forget me for this appointed time. They brought me out quickly. I shaved, changed clothes, stood before Pharaoh.
Were you afraid?
No, I was ready. Not because I was special, but because I had been broken enough to hear God clearly. And God gave me the interpretation, 7 years of plenty, followed by 7 years of famine. I didn't just interpret, I gave the solution. He looked around the room and said, "Can we find anyone like this? A man in whom is the Spirit of God." He put a ring on my hand. He dressed me in fine linen. He made me ruler over Egypt, second only to him. He made me to ride in the second chariot which he had, and the people cried and bowed before me. He made me ruler over all the land of Egypt. He also said, "I am Pharaoh, and without thee shall no man lift up his hand or foot in all the land of Egypt." Tears filled my eyes. I thought within me, is this part of the fulfillment of my dreams many years back?
Oh, wow. That's awesome. What a journey, Joseph. For telling the truth. For showing us that favor doesn't always look like comfort, and that sometimes the dream takes the long road.
Thank you, Delight. If this helps even one person keep trusting, then it's worth telling again.
You've been listening to the Bible Character Podcast with me, Delight. Today's guest was Joseph, from dream to dungeon, and now to destiny. Next episode, we'll continue his story. Have you ever felt forgotten? Have you ever done everything right and still ended up in a place you didn't deserve? Joseph's story shows us something real. You can be faithful and still be thrown in a pit. You can run from sin and still land in prison. But if God gave you a dream, the pit can't stop it. The silence can't cancel it. Share your journey in the comments. What part of Joseph's story hit you the most? Like the video if this reminded you that God still remembers. Subscribe so you don't miss the next part, the famine, the reunion, the moment grace meets guilt. And remember, delay is not denial. Keep walking. Even when the door stays shut, He's still writing your story. This is Bible Character Podcast. See you in the next episode. Until then, stay faithful, even in the silence. God bless you.